So next area here is project details. And project details, we call it a lot of different things. Different people call it differently. We have it set up right now where it's called area, but it could be called subjob, it could be called lot, it could be called XYZ, it could be called super duper something, whatever you decide the name of it to be in the company setup. We always refer to it as our subjob lot is what we normally call it. And this simply breaks out a project into areas, into phases, however you want, however you can imagine you need to break it out. And a lot of things may decide that. A lot of may be your contract with how the bidding documents were designed. Bidding documents were designed so that they want prices broken out in phases. You have the site work, you have the underground work maybe, and then you have the building above ground work. So however you have that phases, you may even have phases of the project. Here's the building that's part of phase 1, and here's another entire building that's part of phase 2. And again, you can have that as 2 different areas. So it's still all one job number, but with the areas here, the subjobs, you can break it out into multiple projects. It's really what's best for the circumstances that you have. A lot of clients will literally break this out into the areas of work that they're doing. This is the east room or the south room or the west room, and you want to put things to that. So again, we have this area number here. We also have a sequence number because what you may call these areas may not sort in the order that you actually want to see them. So you may have to put in a sequence number, which will then sort them in the order that you would want to look at. So let's say we have area 0 here. This is site work, we can call it. And we can plug in a square footage here. Or there's also a formula in the company setups that tells how to calculate this based on your planned quantities. And we'll talk about planned quantities here in a little bit. But you can manually put it in. The contract price, that's going to pull it from either the estimate or the MAA, or you can manually type it in if it's different. We also have an accounting pop-up menu here if on the accounting side you want to identify this as a certain purpose. And this is purely used for search capabilities for accountants to say, okay, I want to find all my transactions that were part of something here. And again, this was in the company setups. You tell us what, or you tell the system what you want these to be. And so you can do searches on all the things that are part of Area 1, but this could most likely go across different projects. So you want to find all the transactions that were done at this detail level that were part of something, and now you want to treat that on the GL side a little bit differently than maybe something else. Each of these areas can have a template attached to them. So we have I think 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 different scope templates we can attach to each area. However, we only have one quantity type, one quantity template that can be put to each area. So what this does is, if you were in planned quantities, we can say, okay, well, bring in this template. We have a template. We'll talk about this when we're in the estimating side, but we have a template of here's all our custom variable quantities that we want to track. We want, SFF means, square footage of floor, or LFW means linear footage of wall, or ND means number of doors. Whatever we want, whatever variable we want that we want to track the quantity of, we can create a template so we don't have to re-enter that. That's what we use as a standard for how we track quantities on a project for estimating purposes. So this is a template that holds that. And then these are the scope templates, which is the scope of the work. So we have quantity templates and we have scope templates. So these scope templates are the list of the tasks that need to happen in order to produce an estimate. So we can attach these, and since, as you can see, we can have 10 of them here, we can pick and choose what templates we may want in a particular area of the project. So we don't have to have one massive template if there's some logic reason that we want smaller templates, so we can pick and choose like a menu item of what the templates can be. Now we have this currently turned off, but there is we can turn it on where these templates, the list that you get, are filtered based on the job group. So what type of project you're doing. For example, this would be maybe a commercial project. So when I click here, only the commercial templates show up. That is a little 2-minute customization in which we just simply change this value list from all templates to job group templates. So it's literally a 2-second change. I wish there was a way. FileMaker doesn't support a way of a conditional formatting for value lists. Someday they probably will. So anyways, the other thing, we have 2 little flags here. One is if the scope templates have already been sent over to the estimate, this will get flagged on. You'll see that they'll be grayed out. And if the quantity template was sent over, that will get flagged, and you'll see that that's been grayed out. And we expose this because you might want to first see, okay, yes, we've already sent it over, but you go, okay, well, I need to resend it. So you can delete everything in the estimate based on this job, uncheck it, and so now you can send that information again. Okay, so we've talked about this subjob. So we have this layering effect here. We have the project, which is the main thing. Then we have all these subjobs that we can put under it. And then we also have the ability to put locations underneath subjobs. So let me pick, I only have one here, so I'll add this little, to create a new location. So this would be location 1 underneath, so I'll just write location 1 of 0. Okay. Oops. Nice if I type the right things. Okay. And again, we can add another one here. So this might be location 2 of 0. And again, we can have its own square footage. We can attach its templates. Now here we only have one template area. At least we're starting with that. See if clients need more. But right now we only have one template and one quantity template that is attached to that. And so the filtering, you can filter by, if you had multiple subjobs, you'll be able to pick one and see what locations are underneath each subjob. So I won't drill down right now. So each of these subjobs, if we click down, kind of the same thing. We have a status area there, which you've set up and your company set up. And again, when you click on if this subjob is active, that means it'll show up in the pop-up lists everywhere for this project. We have our sequence number here. And then we have a whole bunch of other information here about a subjob. Subjobs can be pretty elaborate. A subjob is also, when we talk about a warranty action item actually creates a subjob for that project. So that's why there's a lot of information tied to this, because this type of record, is also used not only to do your project, but it's also used for warranty as well, or service work type thing. So if this was a project that's like a service job for a particular client, this is where you can build like a service record to go out and do something. And this also links to our IWP, our web interface, so that a client could come to you and say, okay, I want a new work order. You need to go out and fix something for us. They can do it on a web page, and you guys get notified of that through that little notification system that, oh, you got a new request. And what's going to happen is you look at it and you say, oh, yeah, this is we're going to accept this, and we're going to, when you do, it creates a new record here under that subjob. So we have detailed specifications about this, a little comments area, what player or what person that might be doing that you're assigning to that task, what type of call it is, what type of service it is, when did you start it, when was it completed, when was this subjob actually billed. Again, we have template information about it. We can look to see in the planned quantities if we have any specific planned quantities that's designed for that are attached to this subjob. If we had the fixed NUMs, they're attached here too. We can look at what locations there are, and here we can just simply add another location if we wanted to. Delete out of that for it, and we can see the attached template just like we in the other, but when we drill down we can see it. We also can see what estimate line items are attached to this subjob, as well as what line items in the MAA detail, the financial detail transactions. We can see what documents are attached to this record as well. So when you drill down on a project, a detail, or a subjob record, there's a tremendous amount of information that we can glean from that and use it for multiple things. Okay, that was our project details.